Welcome to the Open to Hope Show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Horsley, with my daughter and co-host,
Dr. Heidi Horsley.
These shows are brought to you by the Open to Hope Foundation in partnership with the Compassionate Friends. Well, Heidi, I love music, and music is so much at the heart when you've had a loss, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think it touches a place in our lives and in our soul that nothing else does.
Absolutely. And we've got a guest today who has got so much heart, and she's going to bring some wonderful music to you and talk about her loss and what music has meant in her life and how it has helped her out and helped so many others. So Heidi, why don't you introduce her?
Okay, I'd love to. Our guest today is named Denise Ganulin. She is a singer-songwriter. She's a native from California, a native Californian, but she has traveled back and forth throughout her life to Nashville. And her daughter, Holland Ashley, died at the age of 36 just 5 years ago, Mom. And she writes and performs all over the country. And we are going to hear a song that she has written and sung at the end of the show called Don't Know When. Welcome to the show, Denise.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's great to have you on, Denise. And I met you at, where were we? Were we at Parkland?
Parkland, Florida, yeah.
Yeah. And we were down there with Bobby Rosanini, a Healing Hearts Foundation, and he had an event, a Healing Day event. Heidi and I came down, and you came down, and you were telling me a story earlier, which I want you to repeat to people on this show, because I think it's so important about how you kind of have music in your life all your life, but having the death of your daughter has caused you to be singing again. It's singing, and you're on music.
I know, it's funny. I've written forever. It's always been kind of a passion of mine, and I've traveled back and forth to Nashville, and my daughter always loved the music that I wrote, but I never thought that I sang well enough to sing my demos. So I would hire people to do that, and then I would try to pitch them. But in Nashville, you need to go out and sing your songs if you want to get them heard. Mm-hmm. And that's the part I never was able to do, or I didn't feel good about doing, I guess. And just last year, it seems like so long ago now, but last year I had one song that I wrote about my daughter called What a Party. And it was for all of the children that have passed. And I sent it to Compassionate Friends. That was the first I ever heard of them as well. I didn't even know there were help groups, which I could have used like 4 or 5 years ago, I'm telling you, but I didn't know they existed. And I just went online and I found it and I sent it in. I'm thinking maybe they could use it for their conference. They had a conference coming up in like 2 months from the time it was all like serendipity. And I got a phone call from Alan Peterson, and who was the executive director at the time, and also a songwriter and a bereaved parent. And he called me and he said, I get music all the time. And I played this one. I couldn't stop listening. What else do you have? I said, nothing. I can't write about that. It's too painful. He said, you need to write more. And I want to hear you sing. I said, I don't sing, because I sent it to him with somebody else singing it, you know. And he said, well, you need to come and sing it. It's your story. It's your daughter. You come sing. I said, well, I'll see what I can do. So I don't know what happened, but within about 3 weeks, I wrote 2 more songs. And I went to the Compassionate Friends National Conference last year, and I got up and sang those songs in front of like 1,500 people. I'd never done anything like that in my life. I was a wreck. And now I'm going all over the place and singing my stuff, my songs for the bereaved and people who know loss. And it went from that to now I've done 12 more songs about it. And I said, I don't think I can write about what it was like at the beginning. It's too painful. And he said, it'll help you and it'll help others. Just write. And that's what I've been doing. And I even wrote 2 songs with Alan. So we've written 2 songs now.
You also go to write a song for the military?
I did. I wrote a song called Thank You, Soldier, because soldiers that die are also children. And I sent that in too, just on a fluke, to Washington, D.C. And they invited me to come back there for Veterans Day last year. And I sang Thank You, Soldier at the World War II Memorial and the Korean War Memorial. I mean, really, it's like pinch me.
I saw that, and that was very powerful for me because my son's in the military. And I love that you're doing that as well. Wow, I can't believe how all this has taken off. I really do feel like Holland Ashley is your guiding light through all this.
My muse. It's like the ideas like pop in my head, and I just feel her there. And keep me happy. She'd be so.
This brings up for me, and I'm going to address this to my mom. is the fact that when you've had a child and a sibling die, we talk about it all the time, Mom. You talk about it. You lose some of your fear.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You've lost everything. What have you got else to lose? You know, you lose your fear.
I mean, I didn't think that, and Alan said that same thing to me. Just get up and do it. You're among friends. They will get everything you say. And the interesting thing that people have told me that's most encouraging for me is that it's like I'm writing what they're feeling. So now I know that everyone who's lost a child or had a serious loss like that, we all feel the same way. It doesn't really matter how your child died or when they died or how old they were, or, you know, any of that. We feel the same, that same loss. And I get it, and they get it, and they get me, and it doesn't matter if I hit the note not perfectly, you know what I mean? It's like more like what I'm saying, because it captures I just feel like it's like I have a purpose in my life now. And when my daughter died, I didn't feel like I had one anymore.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, let's play one of your songs for people so they can get that idea. Tell us what the song is.
This song is, you know, when I went back and I tried to think about what it was like at the beginning, which was really a painful thing to do. And the thing I remembered the most was, you know it's going to get better. Everybody tells you it's going to get better, but at the moment you're in it, you don't know when that's going to happen. You just can't sort of see it happening, but you know it's there. So there's always, I don't know, maybe it's the way we're built. We want to have some hope. Otherwise, there's no purpose to go on in life, you know, but you just can't see it at the moment. And that's what this song is about. So it's called Don't Know When. And the lyric, if I can remember every word of it, is the chorus is my favorite part. And it's, you know, I know the sun is going to shine tomorrow, but I can't seem to feel it on my face. Mm-hmm. I know the world is going to keep on turning while I'm still hanging on to yesterday. And I know I'm going to smile again, but I just don't know when.
My life was going along just fine. Everything I wanted seemed to be mine. I was happy with every day, bringing me more of the same. How quickly things can change when someone you love is taken away. I know the sun is gonna shine tomorrow, but I can't seem to feel it on my face. And I know the world is gonna keep on turning while I'm still hanging on to yesterday. I know the sun is gonna shine tomorrow, but I can't seem to feel it on my face. And I know the world is gonna keep on turning while I'm still hanging on to yesterday. And I know I'm gonna smile again, but I just don't know when. Oh, I know I'm gonna smile again, but I just don't know when.
Wow, really powerful, isn't it, Heidi?
Yes, and I love that chorus because that is so true. It really does capture how we feel and how I felt when Scott died and how we feel after a loss. I mean, like you said, like you were saying, Denise, we know the sun is going to shine, but we can't feel it. We can't feel it. Our world is dark and frightening. Yeah, exactly.
I remember it was really weird. You know, I hadn't thought about this for a long time, but I honestly thought it was cloudy all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bleak.
And if it wasn't, it was an assault to me. It was like, how dare you be sunny and nice? When you realize weather, what's happened to me, you know, every day should be a storm because that's what I'm dealing with. I'm going through a storm in my own life.
Yeah. And smiling or laughing. Geez, I remember the first time I laughed. It was odd. My husband was in the New York Times and I opened the paper in the business section. There was a picture of him. I had no idea. And I started to laugh. And it was so spontaneous that I remember the laugh as being like a tinkling bell or something. It was a surprise to me. I hadn't heard it for a long time. And I would imagine your music's like that. You haven't heard it for a long time. How was your writing your first song?
It was very difficult. I wrote it. It was called What a Party, but it was about what if the doors opened wide and all of the angels, all the kids came in, everybody who lost a child. And we had one night that we could be with them one more time and say what we wanted to or whatever. What a party it would be. And then I didn't write for years. I just could not write about it. It just, I don't even know where that song came from, but you know, I think they all come from my daughter now, but so it was years. And then it wasn't until Alan, you know, pushed on me. And then once I started writing, now they're just.
Well, I love that Alan pushed on you because for those of you that don't know, Alan Peterson was the former executive director for the Compassionate Friends. And when his daughter Ashley died in the car accident at 18, the way that he healed, as you know, Denise, is to write. It's through his music. So I love how a singer-songwriter inspired and pushed another singer-songwriter who's not as far down the road to do this.
Yeah, and it does. It really, I wouldn't have thought it would help because at the beginning, I'd sit and cry and write music about her. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, but it does. It heals and cleanses. I just think there's something amazing about music and it should be in our lives. I'm right now working on a workshop called When the Music Stops.
Oh, wow.
Because
I'll have to tell you a story. Heidi and I were doing a workshop for the Compassionate Friends, mm-hmm. and a woman, we were talking about challenging yourself to do something that you haven't done, and the woman said, we always say to people, well, do you have something you want to say that you're going to do? And the woman said, I haven't sung since my daughter died. I said to her, okay, she said, I'm going to sing again. And I said, well, why don't you sing right now?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, right now? Oh, I said, come on. And so she said, I don't remember. She said, okay, I'll sing You Are My Sunshine. And so she started to sing that. And everybody, we must have had a couple, I don't know, 100 people there at least. And they all sang it with her.
Yeah. It was
The next year, she came and said what a difference it had made. Like that was her breakthrough moment. And but you had a son-in-law that encouraged you, right?
He did, when I was, so in the tank, as you know what I'm talking about. He sent me an email one day and he said, "You're so far down. Why don't you start writing music? You used to write music. Do something." So
for your grandchildren, right? Isn't that what he said?
Write for your grandchildren, and I'll play it for them. And it was like, okay, because I was pretty pathetic, and I did. I started writing some kids songs.
Wow.
That's kind of got me cooking. Yeah. And I just sent him a song that he and my daughter inspired. I wrote a song called, well, this is an interesting story. If you want to hear it, I'll try to give you a Reader's Digest version. Mitch Carmody, who does signing, and he's very involved with TCF also, he sent me a poem that he wrote about his son, Kelly, who died many years ago, about meeting him in the beyond and whatever. So I thought about it for a day or so, and then I wrote this song because it also was inspired by my daughter and my son-in-law, because they used to sit out and wish on stars and talk about the beyond and whatever. And I just finished it like 2 days ago. I went in the studio, and so my son-in-law is always responsible now for all this stuff, but Mitch too was an inspiration. And it's just, you meet these people and everybody starts coming into your life.
And I love that it's other bereaved parents that are reaching out to you as a lifeline and saying, we've survived this, we've gotten through it, we're going to help you do it too.
Yes, everybody's in the same boat. You don't feel alone.
It's a hard time. It's not great while you meet people, but you meet some wonderful people. And the interesting part is they're from all walks of life, and it doesn't matter what they do or whatever. I mean, it's just some people that are really right there, basically.
The unbelievable thing is I've known Mitch and Alan for almost 20 years, and it was years before I had any idea what they did outside of the grief and loss world. Yeah. Because that's our world, and that's what we focus on. And, we focus on the people that we love, that we're paying tribute, that we're doing this for, and everybody else that's had a loss, and trying to inspire people. And I think, Denise, you are inspiring so many people. Your music is changing lives every day. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Absolutely. Now, I know everybody's going to want to hear what a party, so tell them where your site is, because you've got some wonderful music on your site.
There's probably 16 songs or so. So my website is deniseganulin.com, and you can listen to everything there a little bit.
And didn't you and Alan just record a song together recently?
We just did 2 songs together. One's called She Let Go. It's really powerful. He's awesome, right? He's an awesome writer.
Yeah, we love Alan.
I feel like I'm writing with a movie star. So, and then we did another one called Running in the Dark. Wow. Like when you're at the end, when you lose somebody, you feel like you're running around in the dark. You just can't see ahead. You can't see behind.
Well, Denise, thank you so much for being on the show, and you're a real inspiration.
We're so glad that you're singing again, and we know that your daughter is definitely your guiding light, and keep singing, keep the music going, because we all need it out there. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you very much for letting me in. I appreciate it.
And Heidi and I thank you all for watching this show today. And we want to remind you that if you've lost hope, please lean on ours until you find your own. And God bless.